right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 762 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football, and we're going to hop over to the Georgia Southern Eagles today. We're going to talk some football. Not much to going on there. We just got all of our signees in. I think we pretty much got all of them in from our signing day. But the blue and white spring game will be on deck in about 2 months. But we're going to talk about the first four opponents for Georgia Southern. These are the opponents that we know, and we actually got a date on them. So I'm going to talk about them, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on how I feel this should go, because we are in a situation now where this team, the Georgia Southern Eagles, have to start off on a good note. And with these opponents, I think I'm not saying it's dire times because of the way things ended last year, but it seems like we always get off on a good note and just flutter. But this schedule's a little bit more difficult, but we're going to talk about that and just go from there. If this is your first time here, welcome. I can be found on the YouTube and Rumble, also on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. If you're watching the show, you more likely are on Spotify or on Rumble. That's where you can watch the show. If you just want to listen to the show is on YouTube and Apple Podcasts if you want to just listen. I could be followed on X or Twitter at VF Baller. The website is firstandframerates.com. And if you want to support the show, CashApp and PayPal links are below. If you don't mind, if you haven't already, go ahead and click the like button and share this podcast. Let people know what we're doing over here, because when you hit the like button on YouTube or on Rumble, it helps in the algorithm and more people will be able to see it. All right, let's get into it. After the blue and white game, there's no football for Georgia Southern on the field until August 31st, where Boise State comes down to Paulson Stadium to play the Georgia Southern Eagles. After that, a week later, we're going out to Nevada. We're going to be playing the Nevada Wolfpack, or I think that's their name. We're going to be playing them in Reno, Nevada. Then we come back home to play South Carolina State in Allen E. Paulson Stadium, back at home in Statesboro. And then we go back out on the 21st of September, where we go out and play Ole Miss in Oxford, Mississippi. Now, what I like to see, I mean, in a perfect world, if everything's on the up and up, I would like to see us win all four of these games. Is it ideal? Probably not. I think Ole Miss is a team. I mean, we played them some years ago. I can't remember the final score, but we did play Ole Miss a while back, and it wasn't that close of a game. I think that we're still transitioning into FBS at the time, and we're still trying to get our bearings into the FCS world, even though we did win a few. I think we won a bowl game or something by then. But when you look at the whole situation, I think we are more, I ain't going to say more of an established team. I think we just have our bearings down a little bit more based on what we're trying to run. This team is more of I'm not going to say more of a collegiate style football team, because we're running an air raid type offense. But I think with the type of positions that we have, is more ideal to what you see today. There are some teams that still run the triple option. Some teams still run the spread option. And in some cases still works very well. But we kind of got away from that. And what you mostly see in the FBS or just in football in general, Georgia Southern Eagles kind of running that type of offense. So now, with that being said, what do we do against a Boise State? What do we do against a Nevada or South Carolina State or Ole Miss? Ideal, I would like for us to go 3-1. I think we can beat Boise State in Paulson, and I know that's like of a stretch, because Boise State is going to be coming out as a really good team. As a matter of fact, that's Colton Fitzgerald, former team. So I don't know if he'll see any guys that he know that's at the school or any of his former teammates, but nevertheless, I would like to see Colton Fitzgerald be the starter and beat his team. That's my QB1 for going into the season. I mean, things could change, but I would like to see Colton be the quarterback starting off. But nevertheless, don't know what we're going to expect out of Boise State. I heard they got some really good recruits up there. It's always been a top of the class program when it comes to collegiate football. Kind of similar to the situation when we played BYU that one year. And I think it's going to be that type of atmosphere once again. Do I think people from Boise are going to come down to travel? I don't know, but BYU traveled very well when they came to Paulson, and it was a really good atmosphere. Maybe we can have that type of atmosphere with Eagle fans and actually win this game. I would love to see us do that. Going into September 7th, going out to Nevada. Now, Nevada was a team that didn't do too well last year. I don't know what they're looking like now. Like I said, this is all very early, so we don't really know. But when you look at Nevada, I think they lost to James Madison, or they lost to a Sun Belt team. It could have been James Madison. But with that being said, man, just think about it. James Madison, my God, what a season they had last year. And now they don't look like the same team. They got gutted, man. Shout out to Indiana. But nevertheless, Nevada, I think they lost to James Madison. Could we go out there and do the same thing? I mean, I'm looking at our roster. I don't know what it looks like. I won't know much until I see the spring game. You know, I mean, once you get that, then you kind of get a feel of what's going on. Could we go into Nevada and win that game? I would like for it to happen, but we just don't know. So it's just what I'm looking at is a very early look to see what we should do. And I think we should go at least at the very minimum 3-1. So we come back home to South Carolina. We come back home to Georgia to play South Carolina State. And I think that should be a win for us. I think this should be a dub for us on that one. I might try to get with my brother-in-law and see if we'll go down to that game because he's a South Carolina State alum. And I think that'd be cool. I don't know if he's into football, but not like that. Maybe I'll change his mind. I don't know. Maybe my father-in-law go. I don't know. Somebody is going to go. I think that'd be a cool game to go to on the September the 14th, that Saturday. Playing South Carolina State. I think this is a game that Georgia Southern should win pretty handily. FCS teams are one thing that we don't necessarily have a big issue with. I mean, even back in the FCS days, we've done good against FCS teams. So we should be fine on this one. Hopefully it doesn't be like a Gardner-Webb situation. Whoever was at that game, y'all remember that game. I mean, even though we did win it, it was shaky at best. You know, we'll see. And last but not least, we'll be going to Ole Miss. And I will tell you, Lane Kiffin and them, they got that team looking really good. I mean, the program is actually, pretty on point. So I don't know what to expect, but I think that if we're going to lose a game, this will probably be the game that we lose. I mean, you playing against Ole Miss, an SEC opponent that's actually, pretty good. This is like, I ain't gonna say middle of the road, is right under that second tier of SEC teams. Just think about it. I don't know now. You got Texas and Oklahoma in the SEC now, so how much of a second tier they are. But you know what I mean. They've always been in the running for, some type of SEC title in the West for a few years now. So it's going to be a pretty big game. I just don't know what Georgia Southern's going to come with. I don't know what they're going to do with any of these teams. But it's just that with this early look at these opponents, we do have a favorable beginning of the season schedule. I mean, the Power of Paulson playing against Boise. Nevada is not that good. South Carolina State's not that good. Based on last year, I'm not going to say they're not that good now, but based on, what we've seen in the past, these look like teams that we can beat. Boise State is going to give us a run, but with us being home does give us an advantage. So you could go walk into Ole Miss at 3-0, and hopefully that be the case. And like I said, this is a very early look into our games that we have in the beginning of the season. After the Ole Miss game, I'm almost certain that we're going to have conference play. I'm not sure if we have any more out of conference games outside of these. I mean, these are 4 straight out of conference games that that we have. I think usually we may have 3. So having 4 is a little bit expanded. And now, what we're going to see in the conference, once we play guys, I think we got Appalachian State at home. I think do we play Georgia State? No, we play Georgia State on the road. And we got Appalachian State. I think we got Troy. I can't remember, but it's somewhere out here in the internet world where what teams we actually have at home. I think now we have 8? No, that's way too high. Sorry. Then we have 6 games at home this year. So that's pretty cool. I plan on going to a couple of them. I would like to go. I mean, every time I say this, and I'm going to get up out of here before I say this. After I say this, every time I say I want to go to a game, something happens. Like last year, I tried to get to a few games. Things happen. I mean, it's just life. But now it's planning ahead. I'm trying to get things together where I don't have to wait till the month of to say, hey, I'm gonna try to go. I might want to just start locking that stuff down now, but that's just that's just me with how things have been going. Like I moved here to the Atlanta area like in March of last year. So when I moved here in March, I had a lot of stuff going on. This time I don't have all that going on because I'm already settled. So hopefully I'll be able to go to one, maybe two, I don't know, maybe 3 games. I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. I think, like I said, we play Appalachian State at home. I would love to go to that game. Boise State, and that's another game I would like to attend to. So it's going to be really cool to see. So what do you guys think about this? It's really early. We don't have nothing to really, pin to the wall about. It's basically 4 games, and like I said, 3 of them for the most part are winnable. And I know these kids going to say all of these games are winnable, and rightfully so. They should. But Old Miss is on point, and we need to. If we're going to go shock the world, we need to. We just have to match that intensity that they bring out, just like we did against Nebraska. You do something like that, you may be 4-0 going into the season, and it's possible. I mean, we're not saying that it can't happen. It's just that the battles that you have and which ones are uphill or not. But nevertheless, we'll look into all of that down the road when we get close to the season. Still waiting for more information about the team. The blue and white game will be here in a little bit over 2 months. Definitely going to be all over that. So hopefully you guys will be able to continue to follow what I do over here. Check it out. So if you like this commentary, the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let me know what you guys think. Are you interested in Georgia Southern? I mean, I'm pretty sure if you made it this far, hopefully you are. And would you like to see this team do some great things? Obviously, I do. I'm heavily invested in the team. I love this team. This team is absolutely awesome. I love the power and the tradition that this team brings. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble, also on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Check me out on X or Twitter at VFBaller. The website is firstandframerates.com. PayPal and CashApp links are below. If you want to support the show, I really would appreciate it. It goes a long way and it helps build the show and the channel. All right, y'all, I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. Y'all take it easy and y'all be blessed. Peace.